Welcome to the One Life Podcast with Behka White. This is episode 79, Be Flaw-some. When we talk about living our best life, there are things we can start doing to enhance our life, and there are things we can stop doing that just plain kill the vibe. Today we're talking about letting go of the fantasy of perfection. The author Elizabeth Gilbert said, quote, "Perfection is just fear in high heels and a mink coat, pretending to be fancy. But it's just terror. Under the mink coat, perfectionism is the lie that says, I am not good enough. I will never be good enough. But it's just not true," end quote. As an author, she needs her creativity, and she goes on to explain that perfection is an enemy to creativity and many other things as well. She says, quote, "Perfection is the death of all good things. Perfection is the death of pleasure. It's the death of productivity. It's the death of efficiency. It's the death of joy. Perfection is just a bludgeon that goes around murdering everything good," end quote. I love her perspective because as an author, you can tell that she's kind of grappled with this idea of perfection. Final quote from her. She says, quote, "Forget about perfect. We don't have time for perfect. In any event, perfection is unachievable. It's a trap. It's a hamster wheel that will run you to death," end quote. So, in my opinion, here's the real problem with perfectionism. It not only stops people from completing their work, it also stops people from beginning their work. Perfectionism is a damning thought pattern, meaning that it halts our progress. When we are stuck in perfectionism, we may have difficulty finishing or even starting something as simple as making dinner, talking to the new person, trying something new, applying for the job, performing in sports or any other avenue, creating something, etc. Perfectionism says, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't try. But good news, just like traits of goodness are skills that can be learned, perfectionism is a trait that can be unlearned. Here are 3 tools to begin. Number 1, embrace imperfection. We need to reframe who we are. We need to accept ourselves as we are, as worthy and lovable. You are already enough. You were born enough and you will die enough. The truth is that you are amazing half of the time and a hot mess half of the time. For me, it's more like a 40-60 split, but you get the idea. Let's pause and celebrate the fact that there is no one else on the planet like you. And I am flawed, you are flawed, everyone is flawed, and those flaws are part of what make you uniquely you. So go and be flawsome. Number 2, name your perfectionism. Last night, I rewatched Inside Out 2 with my girls. All the emotions running Riley's life are inside her brain, taking turns hijacking her thoughts and influencing her behavior. Riley did not have a perfectionist character, but most of us do. And if we can name her, we can work with her. So, if perfectionism is just fear in high heels and a mink coat, let's get her a comfy chair and a drink and reassure her that we know she's there. And also let her know she's welcome to join us, but won't be allowed to make any decisions today. When we notice that she is up and talking to us, we can gently reassure her and sit her back down. She is only fear dressed up after all. We are not intimidated by her. Number 3, celebrate your wins. Celebrate your progress. Perfectionism wants us to measure the gap and how far away we are from our ideal. Don't do it. Measure backward. Measure the gains that you've made instead of the gap to the ideal. Look how far you've come. You are doing better than you think you are. And you are worth celebrating. I've mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. A practical tool for celebrating our wins is to write down 3 wins, even small ones, at the end of each day. This helps us to see and know that we are already winning. Today's invitation is to put down the bludgeon of perfectionism. You are beloved, you are enough, and you are doing better than you think you are. Have a great day. Until next time, keep living your best life.